Okay, so yesterday we spoke about character development, midos development. What are your midos, our character traits, are our patterns of our thoughts, our feelings, our words, and our actions. Now, one negative trait that is super important to overcome is anger, kas. Why? Because anger causes tremendous problems for ourselves, tremendous problems ben adam lechavero, interactions with other people. And I wrote a book called Anger, the Inner Teacher. And the reason we call the inner teacher, the Talmud, the Gemara says in Masechta Eruvin, B'shlosha dvarim adam nikar. You can recognize a person in three ways, three factors to recognize a person. Bekiso, bekaso, bekoso. Kiso is a wallet. Like, how do we deal with money? Whether we're generous, whether we're stingy, whether we feel comfortable, we worry. So money tells a lot about a person. When a person's greedy, some people for money, they're going to hurt other people, cause people loss. Other people, they want to gain themselves, but they also want to help other people. Money, you can do a lot of chesed, a lot of kindness with money. So how you speak about money, how you think about money, how you act about money, reveals a lot of your personality. Bekoso, with our cup, means drink wine or other alcoholic beverages. When a person is drunk, it reveals a lot about personality. Okay, welcome. Good. And the third thing is bekaso. You reveal your personality, the three factors, and one is your anger, with anger. What we get angry about, how we speak and act when we get angry. So today's class, we're going to elaborate on the theme of anger, our conquering anger. And I wrote a book called Anger, the Inner Teacher, based on this Talmudic idea, and developed a 9-step formula for conquering anger. On the practical level, when we give a class, you have to talk a lot about anger itself, but on the practical level, the goal is not to be angry, but to master the traits and the emotional states that are antidotes to anger. And we'll deal with this a little more at length. So the first step, we need to be motivated to conquer anger. Now, when we think in terms of motivation, when are we motivated to do something? There are 6 words in 3 categories. Right and wrong, gain and loss, pain and pleasure. So there's right and wrong, gain, loss, pain, pleasure. When something we gain, we tend to do it. We lose, we tend not to do it. If it's right, we tend to do it. Wrong, we tend not to do it. If it's pleasurable, we do it. If it's painful, we don't do it. So something that will be all 6 in alignment, it's right to do, we gain by doing, a pleasure doing. It's wrong not to do, we pain not doing, we lose out by not doing. Something that all 6 factors work in harmony, whatever that is we're going to do it. However, in life, there's a lot of things that are mixtures. But when it comes to anger, we'll see all 6 terms apply, and that can motivate us. Right and wrong. We spoke yesterday about the mitzvah to develop our midos, the mitzvah to develop our character traits. From a Torah point of view, it's the mitzvah of alachta bidrochav, to walk in the Almighty's ways. So it's right for our health. There's a mitzvah in the Torah, shmartem ma'od l'nafsho seichem, guard your health. Anger is super destructive. There's a husband and wife medical team that wrote a book called Anger Kills. They wrote about the harm of anger. It's harmful for the heart. It's harmful for our digestive system. Anger causes a lot of health issues and health problems. It's right also because when we are calm and we speak better to other people, we can treat people with respect. Anger is wrong because we cause harm with anger. we cause emotional pain. For instance, child abuse. Very few people really get pleasure in hitting their children. The people who can lose their temper. The people with a bad temper end up causing their family members a lot of pain, a lot of distress. They'll say things that are painful. So wrong anger itself is wrong because it's an emotional state that's very harmful and it causes a lot of pain. Gain and loss. When we think calmly, we can think constructively, we think intelligently, we can think wisely. When we're angry, we don't think straight. And the Talmud says that if a person is wise, if a person is wise, then he's going to lose his wisdom. When you're angry, your brain doesn't function well. That's why people can make major mistakes. We can say things that we're sorry for. We're saying things that cause ourselves a personal loss. People quit jobs. People break up families and relationships because of anger. And pain and pleasure. Ultimately, to be healthy and calm, and inner calm is healthy, and we'll lose out. There's going to be ultimately a lot of long-term pain with anger, both in relationships and health-wise. So the more we understand the challenges and the harm that anger causes, the more we're going to be motivated. The stronger, making that commitment, this idea we spoke about, personal PIC, personal internal commitment, like making a personal internal commitment, very valuable, the three qualities of gratitude, joy, and kindness, your whole life. A person that's grateful, we spoke in class number 1, about mastering happiness and joy. A grateful person is a joyful person. The kinder we are, we're going to feel good ourselves, we're going to relate better to other people. So being motivated, making a decision to conquer anger, and including this decision is making the decision to develop those midos, those traits that are going to be beneficial in your life. And we'll elaborate on this. Step number 2 is recognizing anger. How do you know somebody else is angry? You can hear the way they're speaking. An angry voice is very different than a calm voice. When a person's calm, serene, the voice tone is pleasant. However, when a person's angry, the tone of voice is angry, the volume is going to go up, and the content of what we say. So we can recognize somebody else's anger, and ultimately we can recognize our own anger by being open. How am I speaking now? Also, somebody else, when they're angry, you can look in their face. The facial expression of anger is very different than the facial expression of joy, of happiness, a person celebrating. There's anybody in the world, they have a photograph of anger. You have a photograph of people joyful, it just totally looks different. Everybody across the world, there's studies of people's facial expressions expressing their different emotions. It's recognizable for people all over the planet. But when we're angry, unless you're looking in a mirror, you don't see yourself. Remember once when my children were younger, I was angry at one of my children, and I passed by a mirror and I said, "Oh, that looks awful," and stopped my get out. So really, a person who has a bad temper goes around with a mirror or have big mirrors in their house and keep looking at the mirror. They say, "Okay, do I look joyful now, or look happy, or do I look angry?" And that is one way. Because definitely a key element is the thinking, the thoughts that are conducive to well-being, think thoughts conducive to an inner calm and inner peace. However, just by even changing your facial expression will automatically change your emotion. So by recognizing anger, that is an important step forward. A lot of times people might say, one person says, person A says to person B, oh, you're angry. The other person says, no, I'm not angry. Anybody around there can tell, hey, this person is angry right now, but the person can deny it. Very easy to deny anger. Say, I'm not angry. So by acknowledging your patterns and being aware of your patterns as a child, because our early childhood patterns stay with us, even if no matter how old we are, we still maintain those inner patterns of a child, and noticing how did you act when you're angry. Some people, when they're angry, they tantrums. Some people, when they're angry, they just get quiet. So anger can manifest in behavior in many different ways. So be realizing your own patterns of anger. And part of this is recognizing what gets you angry. The more self-knowledge we have, it's an important step forward in developing our middos, developing our character.
I hear that drinking water is a good method.
Yeah. Right. Also, especially if a person makes a bracha on the water, you make a bracha shahakol, niya b'dvaro, everything is with God's word. That itself will, the consciousness. But drinking water itself and slow, deep breathing is an important tool. There's chapter 6, the sixth step is tools and techniques to conquer anger. Step number 3 is what are the essence of anger, the thought patterns. Ultimately, it's blaming someone, thinking that what happened is harmful and negative, and blaming someone for it. So that blaming is the essence of anger. That's why the mitzvah in Torah, there's a consciousness of judging people favorably, having an ayin tov, a good eye. When we see situations in a positive light, we won't get angry. And that's where the idea of reframing comes in. That the more ability we have to reframe, there's some people when the telephone rings in the middle of a class, they'll get upset. And otherwise, you can say, our class, we say, whenever you hear a telephone ringing, think, Baruch Hashem, I'm alive, thank God I'm alive, thank God I can hear. So when you identify telephone ringing, you associate that with, I'm alive, I am breathing, I can hear, then instead of the telephone ringing bringing out upsetness and anger, the telephone ringing will put you in a positive state. So mastering the skill of finding positive ways to look at things. And we mentioned yesterday when we spoke about character development that one basic reframe is that this too, any situation that's a challenge is going to help me develop my middos. I'm going to develop my character through what's happening now. It's an opportunity to keep developing our inner patience. So anger comes from blaming, condemning, and the more we're able to see things in a positive light or with an inner wisdom, because not everything is positive. Now that we find that the sages say in Pirkei Avos, who talks about anger, it says there are 4 levels of anger. When it comes to anger, 4 different patterns. Some people easily get angry, and easy to let it go. Some people, it's difficult for them to get angry, difficult to let it go. They don't get angry that often, but once they get angry, they stay angry. The worst level is easy to get angry, difficult to let it go. The kind of people are always angry, and they're angry for years. And if they didn't get invited to somebody's special occasion, they keep that animosity, resentment, they keep it in for a long time. And the best level, the highest level says, hard to get angry and easy to let it go. That person rarely gets angry. Once in a long while, you really wrong them, they'll get angry. And if they do get angry, you apologize and they'll let it go very fast. Or even if you don't apologize, they'll think, okay, he did it yesterday, I'll have more perspective right now, let it go. That's called a chassid, a very righteous person. Notice what's missing. It doesn't say a level of never getting angry. And commentaries explain that the idea of never getting angry is unrealistic for most people. We find this Talmud praises Hillel, the great sage Hillel, that he had this ability, he didn't get angry. And Talmud tells a story of two non-Jews who made a wager. One said, oh, I can get anybody angry. I'm an expert at riling people up. I can, no matter who they are, I can get them angry. And he says, the other person said to him, oh, there's this great sage, Jewish sage named Hillel. You're not going to get him angry. He says, oh, I can get anybody angry. Okay, they weighed 400 zuz, and they made this major wager. And the person who said he's going to get him angry goes to Hillel's house, knocks on the door. Mikan Hillel, where is Hillel? And that's a very insolent way. Hillel was this great scholar and sage, a leader, and he knocks on the door speaking very chutzpahdik, very insolently. Where's Hillel? So Hillel comes to the door and says, yes, what would you want? He says, I have an important question. He says, okay, please ask your question. Now, Hillel was taking a bath, and when this person knocked, Hillel had to get dressed and to come to the door. And he asked this irrelevant question about why people from a certain place, their eyes are a certain slant, and another question he asked another time. They repeated the same pattern because after Hillel answered, the Hillel went back into his bath. This person had left, and the person comes back, and Mikan Hillel, where's Hillel? And he repeats the same thing, and he has another irrelevant question, and Hillel gives him very calmly, very patiently, gives him an answer. And then he repeats it a third time. Knocks on the door instantly. Hillel gets dressed, comes to the door, says, I have an important question. He asks the question, and again he asks the question. It's not an emergency. He didn't have to ask Friday afternoon when Hillel was milling getting ready for Shabbos. He's in a rush. So the person chose specially a time that a person is in a rush, and assuming Hillel's really going to get frustrated, Hillel's going to get angry. But Hillel was very calm. And the Talmud praises Hillel that even though this person spoke and acted in ways that were totally not right, Hillel still stayed with an inner calm. So the essence of anger, blaming and condemning someone, and the more we can judge favorably, find a positive way to look at the situation, the more we'll be able to handle it calmly and stay calm. Step 4 is practice speaking and master ability to talk with mutual respect in ways that are mutually respectful, even when you're a bit angry, even if you're upset with somebody, still speak in ways that bring out the best in the other person. So that's number 4. So sometimes we do have to reprimand somebody, we have to voice our complaint, and Rambam writes that if we're upset with somebody, we shouldn't just keep quiet about it, but rather speak out to the person, go over to the person and confront the person, tell them, but this takes a lot of wisdom to do it in a way that's beneficial and will bring out mutual goodwill rather than bringing out the worst in people. So that's 4. Step 4 is speak in ways that are mutually respectful to work out whatever need to work out. 5 is finding solutions. There are some situations that the way it's now is problematic for you, and the more you can work out solutions. For instance, let's say there's a family that somebody's always losing a key, and they always have problems. So make a lot of keys, make 10 keys, and put them in different places that in case the key gets lost, then you'll have an alternative key. So a lot of things, if you find a pattern and it keeps getting upset, finding solutions to the situation that prevent you from getting the problem. Step 6. Step 6 is develop the midos, the character traits that are antidotes to anger, mastering the states that are positive states. For instance, patience. The more patient you are, the person is very patient, doesn't get that angry. There's a state that's called centered, focused, and flowing. Centered, focused, and flowing. When you're in a state of being centered, focused, and flowing, you're able to handle the situation with an inner wisdom. And that's, we always speak about wise balance, and we need to access our own inner wisdom. The more humility, we don't get angry. A person's arrogant, a person is arrogant, self-centered, narcissistic, get angry at people. You should do what I want. And a person that's not arrogant, that has humility, is going to treat other people with respect. That every single person is important, and you recognizing the value of other people. It's not ani vavsiot, I'm the only one that counts. The more self-centered somebody is, the easier it is for them to get angry. The more, with humility, a person is able to handle situations with more wisdom. Centered, focused, and flowing. Because it's the opposite of getting angry. If you get angry, so you're centered, your centered state. So it's a calm, clear thinking state. You focus on what's happening and you flow. Centered, focused, and flowing. And we need to practice to get into that state. About practicing, in the back of the book, we have a list of 350 situations that frequently get people angry. And thinking about situations, like imagine that you're very calm and you face these different situations. So you mentally prepare yourself, how am I going to act? So there's one solution to be in a calm state, creating an inner calm, and the other is that's centered, focused, and flowing. Now, there's another step by keep developing tools for dealing with situations. For instance, the famous idea of counting to 10. So, like a modernized version would be count from 10 to 1 slowly. And after each number, say deeper and deeper relax. So let's go, let's practice. 10, deeper and deeper relaxed. 9, deeper and deeper relaxed. 8, deeper and deeper relaxed. 7, deeper and deeper relaxed. 6, deeper and deeper relaxed. 5, deeper and deeper relaxed. 4, deeper and deeper relaxed. 3, deeper and deeper relaxed. 2, deeper and deeper relaxed. 1, deeper and deeper relaxed. If that works, terrific. If it doesn't work, you go 20, deeper and deeper relaxed. 19. So it's going to work. It's just a matter of being patient, and that's an easy tool. There's other tools, such as if somebody tends to get you angry, or a situation tends to get angry, you can use, there's a tool that there's a fellow Sandler recommends for people that find it difficult to sell. So Sandler suggests stay in the car, means mentally you're going to stay in the car, and send in an actor playing psychiatrist. So of course it's you. You're the one that's going to go into this person to try to make the sale, but mentally you're really in the car, and you're sending in an actor playing psychiatrist. A psychiatrist expects people to get angry easily and doesn't expect people to act so normal. So a psychiatrist is mentally prepared to deal with very illogical, irrational people. But you're not really a psychiatrist. You're an actor playing psychiatrist. So mentally, it's a triple dissociation. You're mentally imagining you're still in the car. You're sending an actor playing psychiatrist, And therefore, it'll be easier to stay calm, and easier to think and speak in ways that bring out the best in another person. So finding tools and techniques that work for you. There's the two-chair method, somebody you're upset with and you really want to work it out. So if somebody's reasonable, speak it over, work it out. If you have somebody that's not reasonable, then you can talk to an empty chair and imagine the person there. You say, I'm really upset with you. And then you sit in the chair and he says, why are you upset with me? And so you can have a whole dialogue with this other person that you're playing the role of speaking it out, whatever you want to speak out. And he, either you can imagine him in this empty chair, he's there and he's accepting what you say, or he's having a dialogue and he is presenting his part. That's some of the basic tools. And the more you're able to use your imagination to see yourself, bring out the best in yourself, bring about best in the other person. Because every person, when they're angry, they act worse than they usually do. And when we're calm, clear thinking, we act our best. So that's what we really want, is to master that calm, clear thinking that we can speak to the other person. And also the more love we have for another person. Love other people yourself. When there's a verse, love covers over all iniquities. That if we have love for someone, we really care in a deep way, it's much easier to stay calm. When the verse says, love covers over all kind of iniquities, imagine you have a wooden floor, it has a lot of scratches. And what you do, so you have a beautiful carpet. It's covering over this floor. So when a person walks in the room, they see the design in this beautiful carpet. And so that you don't see the scratches on the floor. That's all called shoyim techas ava. That if you have love for another person, that covers over the wrongs that someone does. Because out of love for this person, you want to see the good in the person, bring out the best in the person. So anger is a very harmful trait, leads to negative interactions, causes problems, many divorces because of anger. People quit partnerships, and the more we can stay in their wisdom, when we pray for inner wisdom every day. We pray for wisdom and knowledge that we should be able to be at our best intellect and our wisest and kindest, and that upgrades our relationships with the people.